Hey guys, it's Pete with the Pisano Group, and I want to talk to the buyers out there that want to invest in multifamily properties, and they're going to be first-time buyers getting into the multifamily game. So naturally and obviously, when you're buying a multifamily property, you're going to come across tenants. That's why you're buying the property to begin with, so that it can pay for a portion of your mortgage, if not all of your mortgage, and maybe if you do it right, you can even make a little bit of money monthly as well. So when you take on tenants, there's obviously risks, and I want to talk about how to mitigate risk as much as possible today. When you're in the beginning stages of negotiating an offer, it's very important to do as much homework as you can about what type of tenants are living in the property and if they're good tenants or not. So the first question you really want to find out is, what are they paying for rent? This is going to help you determine if the majority of the rent that comes in covers any portion of your mortgage, or are you ended up paying for somebody else to live at the property. At the end of the day, this is an investment property for you. You want this property to make money for you in the future, if not now, and cover the majority of your mortgage. So find out as much as possible what the rent is. The second thing you want to find out is the rent being paid on time? Rent can come in at any time of the month sometimes, and it's up to you to really kind of find out from the listing agent or the owner, is the tenant paying rent on time? Because your mortgage is due regardless whether they pay rent on time or not. The third question you want to find out is the lease. What type of lease are they on? Are they on a month-to-month lease? Are they on an annual lease? This also helps you figure out the stability of the property, and do you have to worry about going vacant in winter months in Boston, because those are the toughest months to really get the property rented, and more often than not you take a cut in the rent price because there's not a lot of demand during those months. Another question you want to find out is the length of the lease. Not necessarily the length of the lease, but the length of the tenant. How long has the tenant lived there for? Are they a brand new tenant? Have they lived there for 10 years? In my experience, tenants that have lived there for longer than 5+ years aren't always paying market rate They're not paying market rate rent. So again, multifamily investing, it all really comes down to the numbers. And is the tenant paying market rate? If the tenant's on a lease, an annual lease, you can't go up in rent next month. You have to wait until the lease is over. If you have a good tenant, you might not necessarily go up in rent. Just because you're getting market rate rent doesn't mean you're always going to get a great tenant either. So, but bottom line is you want to do as much homework as you can on the tenant that lives there, because at the end of the day, once you sign that deed, those tenants are your responsibility now. That means you have to go to court and evict them if they're not paying rent on time. And all this can be avoided at the beginning stages if you get to review the leases, if you get to review the rent income, if the landlord will provide that for you. So to mitigate these as much as possible, find out how much they're paying for rent, what type of lease are they on, how long have they lived there for, and review the leases. And that's my tip. We help investors all the time buy. If you have any questions and you want us to share with you what we offer for our investors, for the formula to help us determine whether the property is a good fit or not, reach out to me. I'd be happy to share that with you.